Chicago this weekend. 54 shot, 7 killed. These are facts. These are stats. President Trump tweets saying we have to do something about it. Pritzker's playing politics. Pritzker's being interviewed, Rob, if you can play that clip on Pritzker being interviewed. The lady's asking him a question. 54 were shot, 7 dead. He gives a 2-second answer, and then look what he does immediately. Go ahead, Rob.
To hear people, especially this past weekend, 54 shot, 7 dead.
Yeah.
They're going to say the city's not safe. Would you ask your friends to ride the L after midnight or after, 9 o'clock at night even to come down to the city from O'Hare?
Look, big cities have crime. There's no doubt about it. But let's just pay attention to what President Trump is doing targeting Chicago.
What
does that
big cities have crime.
Deal with it.
Deal with it. They
But
have
Trump,
a problem.
But
let me tell you what Trump is doing. So this was 32 separate shootings in Chicago.
Reported, Pat. Reported, meaning they said that there was way more. Yeah.
Pritzker rejected Trump's threats, stating National Guard troops or any kind of troops on the streets of an American city don't belong unless there's an insurrection, unless there's truly an emergency, and there is not, and vowed to sue if troops are deployed, saying it's an invasion with U.S. troops. If they, in fact, do that, they'll be in court pretty quickly. Mayor Brandon Johnson, at a workers over billionaires march on Sunday, declared no troops in Chicago, invest in Chicago. This is President Trump. Go ahead. Bless you, Vinny.
Thank you.
Mind up on Chicago, though? Well, we're going in. Yes. I didn't say when. We're going in. When you lose, look, I have an obligation. This isn't a political thing. I have an obligation. When we lose, when 20 people are killed over the last 2.5 weeks, and 75 are shot with bullets. So let me tell you a little story about a place called D.C., District of Columbia, right here where we are.
Maybe never heard of
It's
this.
now a safe zone. We have no crime. It's in such great shape. You can go and actually walk with your children, your wife, your husband. You can walk right down the middle of the street. You're not going to be shot, Peter. You're safe. Everyone likes you anyway. They probably wouldn't do it. But it's so dangerous.
But don't tempt me,
there
buddy.
There are people in this audience that you've suffered greatly. There are people in this audience that have been mugged and hurt badly, and they don't want to talk about it. Maybe you were very brave in talking about it. You made quite an impression on a lot of people. I appreciate it. But there were other people in this room that have been hurt very badly just walking down the street in D.C. Washington, D.C. is a safe zone right now.
It's a safe. So this is the part, Jillian, where you can scream as loud as you want, and then numbers comes out, and then there's logic, and then there's results. And then you can sit there, and even the people that voted for, who you voted for, now disagree with you, saying, no, I kind of like what he's doing. So I think their debate is kind of getting hurt by facts, data, proving that American people want to be safe. What do you think about that?
First of all, you said a key word there. You said Trump's threat to go into Chicago. A threat? Yeah. I heard him say, I hope Pritzker reaches out to me. I want to work across the aisle. Let's solve this problem for Americans. It's an offer. It's not a threat.
Yeah.
And the fact that Trump derangement syndrome is so significant that Democrats would argue crime is not really a problem. I would say one murder that can be stopped is one murder too many. Yeah. I think that they are losing their shit, honestly, boss. And that's why their approval ratings are in the toilet. This is crazy.
Yeah.
This is nonpartisan.
But 35-year low, according to Wall Street Journal. And by the way, Morning Joe, who couldn't stand Trump, every day he had a chance to trash him, he did. Eventually agreed to go to Mar-a-Lago to meet with him. This is the advice Morning Joe Scarborough from CNBC, just gave to Pritzker. Listen to this.
Concern is you have leaders in Chicago that see this, as you say. We've been reading about this for years now, every weekend, and maybe crime has gone down. But, we had the mayor of Chicago on last week saying, oh, we don't need any more police officers. Police officers aren't the answer. No police officers. I think he said no 5 times. You look what's happening this weekend. You look so, I actually think that JB Pritzker should do something radical.
Here we go.
I think he should pick up the phone, call the president, and say, and I know, you don't have the constitutional authority to deploy the National Guard here and to police my. You can do that in D.C., you can't do that in Chicago. But let's partner up. These are the most dangerous parts of my state. We would love to figure out how to have a partnership that's constitutional, that respects the sort of balance of federalism between the federal government and the state government. And let's work together to save lives. Because right now, just hey, nothing to see here moving along. No problem here. Hey, Donald Trump.
There you go.
We don't need you.
Pause it right
the
there.
mayor talking about.
It's pretty bad when a guy like that has to flip and agree with Trump. And he doesn't want to, but he's like, shit, I got to do it because you don't make sense. Tom, your thoughts on this?
Well, when you have bad ratings, liberal policy talking points don't work, and you're threatened to lose your job, you get the new Joe Scarborough, who is actually taking a rational thing because he's like, man, I don't want to get shot, so, metaphorically speaking, like some of these other anchors with big contracts that have been getting shot out of their chairs because of low ratings and things. And suddenly he comes out like Bill Maher with a measured position, number one. Number two, I think he's right. This is exactly what JB Pritzker should be doing. And JB isn't even the mayor, he's the governor. The governor is the one that has the authority to pick up the phone and say, Mr. President, I need you to declare this a disaster area because of flooding, disaster area because of earthquakes in California, disaster area because of wildfires. Oh, more fires. Okay, well, Gavin doesn't call, but he has the authority to do it. And he has the obligation to do it, Mr. President. And you know why? Because when you declare a place a disaster area, you're eligible for federal funds you don't have to pay back or pay for as a state. So JB has at his disposal the ability to reach out. And I think Scarborough is actually right. Why doesn't JB do that? Instead, Trump bad, Trump bad, Trump bad, Trump bad. That is the only thing. Trump bad is their blankie. They have to stay on emotional cause points because if they get to rational logic points, it's like the reason that the liberals won't go on Jubilee. Because if you sit in a room, words talk, numbers scream, and be rational, they can't handle that. So he needs the emotional reaction, which is the tyrant is being authoritarian and he's coming here against the Constitution. That's an emotional point that doesn't get to how many people are sitting there making arrangements after the weekend to attend a ceremony or ceremonies for the loved ones? There's a hell of a lot. And I don't care if crime's down. Those numbers are horrifying.
Just the way he handled it. I'm just so, like, this is President Trump tweets this. 6 people were killed, 24 were shot in Chicago last week. And JB Pritzker, the weak and pathetic governor of Illinois, just said that he doesn't need help in preventing crime. He is crazy. He better straighten it out fast or we're coming. MAGA president. He responds back. Pritzker in the middle. Why don't you send everyone proof of life first? Either way, Chicago doesn't want you here. So then I respond back and I say, why don't you do a town hall in Chicago and ask families if they want the National Guard? Invite folks from Englewood, Garfield Park, North Lauderdale to see whether Chicago wants Trump or not. I forgot, you only do virtual town halls. By the way, during his time of being a president, he has only done virtual town halls. He doesn't do live town halls. He's afraid of his voters. Adam, your thoughts on this?
Well, everything here is what I would call the Sir Mix-a-Lot defense, the big buts. And I cannot lie. Everything is a pivot away from what's actually happening. It's the but Trump, but racism, but Gaza. How about you stay in the moment and address what's actually happening? The hardest thing to do, just like Trump just did with Muriel Bowser, is he said, shout out to the mayor of D.C. You got to give her credit because she actually acknowledged D.C. has a problem. And rather than being like, but Trump, she goes, yeah, we actually need some help. Because in my opinion, they're playing politics rather than actually trying to make progress. You always talk about in business, the goal isn't to be perfect, it's to actually make progress. What progress have we seen come out of Chicago in the last 20 years? Any city in America that's nicknamed after Iraq, Chirac, you probably got a problem, homie. Put the guns down and let's start saving some lives.
Guys, Adam became gangster.
That's true.
It just doesn't make any sense.
I
learned it from Tom.
I'm just excited. Did you guys miss it?
I'm a little scared.
On a health note, he was walking in the morning.
Ozempic.
Well, dude, he was doing that. But you know what? I do hope when it comes to number. What? I'm serious. He was trying. It's the voters. I hope, because we talk about. I hope the voters are paying attention. It's like clockwork. Every holiday, everybody tunes into the news to see how many people died in Chicago. It's a bloodbath. So I hope they're paying attention because this guy, just like the majority, especially the mayor of Chicago, they're playing politics, like you said, Tommy, but people are dying. Sons, fathers, daughters, kids and drive-bys getting hit in the head. I hope that they wake up because it's not stopping anytime soon.
If you support CNN and what they stand for, buy their gear. represented. If you support what Nike stands for, buy their gear, support it. If you support any media company, any podcast, whatever they stand for, comedians, whether it's Kill Tony, whether it's Schultz, whether it's Rogan, whether it's anybody you support, their values represent their gear. If you watch our show and you believe that the future looks bright, I encourage you to support it. This allows us to hire more people. This allows us to grow our business. This allows the brand to get out there. This allows other people to be confused when you go into work with a gym and you got a future looks bright, and people are like, wait a minute, what, you really believe the future looks bright? You really believe that? Like, don't you think this should be communistic? No, man, I really believe the future looks bright. Seriously, yeah, you're a little weird. I am. And you're negative. And you're pessimistic, and I'm not. So if you're optimistic and you believe the future looks bright, go represent. That green combo is my favorite. That future looks bright shirt and hat combo, my favorite. It looks absolutely sick when you have it right in front of you as well. And by the way, at the Vault Conference, for the first time in the history of hats, we're launching the first gold hat ever. The hat has got the future looks bright, gold, and the logo on the side is gold. You get a certificate of authenticity, but it's only at the people that are going to be at the Vault. It's only 15 of them.
Real gold.
Real gold.
That looks ridiculous.
It literally looks ridiculous. But anyways, if you believe the future looks bright, go to vtmerch.com, place an order. I believe the first 100 people that place an order get a mug or a keychain or some trinkets being sent to you as well. That's the mug that you get, the first 100 to go place the order. So go place your order at vtmerch.com. We'll get that stuff over to you guys. If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.